The things that I read every single week when it comes to WWE is absolutely fucking mind-boggling. It really is. It's downright laughable. Imagine walking through life. Imagine doing what you do on a daily basis with your family, with your kids, with your wife, with your job, with yourself. Imagine going through everyday life with the mentality and the mindset and the attitude of winging it. We're just going to wing it today. We'll let the wind take us wherever it wants. There's no end game in sight. What if you want that promotion? Are you going to work hard and present the best that you have to your boss? Or are you just going to wing it? When your kids want daddy after a long day's work and he's got to be super dad at the end of the day, are you just going to wing it? What if your wife has been sex deprived for 3 weeks because you're working so hard at the office when she just bought a brand new lingerie outfit from Victoria's Secret and she's looking all hot and sexy on the night in which you guys are going to spend quality time together? And she's laying in bed and she's looking glorious. More glorious than Bobby Roode has ever looked on Monday Night Raw. Are you going to wing it? This company is absolute rubbish. Trash. The mentality of the people who write Monday Night Raw, I swear to God, I wish I could line them up. Line them up. Look them directly in the face and slap the ever-living shit out of every single one of them. Seriously. This is how annoyed as a fan I am. And then people will just chime in and say, it's entertainment. If you don't like it, don't watch. Everybody that says that, we're deeming right here forever them to be known as the ones who accept mediocrity. WWE is winging it with Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins on Monday Night Raw. You don't say now. You're winging it. So there's no end game in sight. You don't have a fucking plan for Ambrose, Reigns, and Rollins. You don't have a conclusion to what we're seeing on Monday Night Raw. What they're telling you is that, well, fuck it. We're going to go in week to week, and we're going to let the wind just guide us to wherever it wants to take us. No plans. No plans on Monday Night Raw. And we didn't need a report to inform us of this nonsense. You could watch Monday Night Raw. You could feel the attitude of the show every single week that indeed they are winging it. I don't understand how a company with a flagship show that they've put on every single Monday for 25 years is winging it. Winging it in a day and age in which the quality of their product is worse than I have ever seen it. This mentality needs to go away. And like we discussed on part 1 of Off the Script this weekend, where we talked about Fox Sports, out of everybody, could be an unlikely savior to everybody watching this show because they want a more sports-directed, competitive show to put on amongst the elite programming that they do with college football and the NFL on Saturday and Sunday, respectively. There is no hope. There is no hope for this company. I was hoping that the stocks dropping would be a clear indication of, well, maybe a positive change could be on the horizon. I thought that the Monday Night Raw ratings sinking lower and lower and lower every single week could be a good thing. But no, of course not. They're winging it with Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. Like I said before, you don't say. You're winging it. So the reason that you put these guys together, pretty much, you're telling me without actually telling me, is they do it for Roman. I gave you guys a little pause there because you knew where I was going with that. They do it, and then I should hear a whole audience chant for Roman. They do it for Roman. Roman is the one that they're protecting here. Meanwhile, they ruined Rollins. Rollins is not. You look at Rollins from May. Look at Rollins. Go back and watch Raw with Rollins as IC champ back in May before the summer. And then look at him now. I guarantee you the Rollins from May, looking at the Rollins now, would absolutely die of laughter. Who the fuck are you? I don't know who you are. I'm not you. I'll tell you that. Look at Dean Ambrose. What did WWE do with Dean Ambrose? Dean Ambrose, they brought him back. He was intriguing. The guy didn't even open his fucking mouth. And I was intrigued by the return of Dean Ambrose. He's got all this pent-up anger. He's got this look of a man who's just pissed off at the world. And then WWE has him open his mouth. And then the next thing you know, he's playing a puppet next to Roman Reigns. And next to Seth Rollins. And being a shield for Roman Reigns. Because the Shield only got together, for the fucking idiots out there, the Shield only got together, and the WWE only put the Shield together, not to market some fucking t-shirt, or to make the little kids happy. No, they did it for Roman. They did it for Roman. The Shield only got together because the Roman initiative is at an all-time high. They thought, well, Dean Ambrose is going to get a huge babyface reaction when he came back. We'll put him with Roman. Nobody's going to boo Roman with a returning Dean Ambrose there. We'll put Seth Rollins with Roman Reigns because Seth Rollins was the hottest wrestler, bar none, in WWE back in May. WWE slowly killed that. Well, we'll put him with Roman because who's going to boo Roman with Seth Rollins, who everybody loves, standing next to him? But everybody looks at me like I'm a fucking lunatic. Everybody looks at me like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? He doesn't know WWE. He don't know what he's watching. The things that he says sometimes are just outlandish. And I don't understand why he says the shit that he says. Oh, you know why I say the shit that I say. Because I am 100% factual. I am correct. Meanwhile, everybody else is fucking sucking the WWE cock. Open your fucking eyes. Raw sucks. The Shield is a fucking piece of shit, waste of time. For what? For what do we have these guys back on Raw for? Are they adding to the ratings? Are they adding to a show that desperately needs any type of change? Are they adding momentum to a show? Are they making you reach for the remote control to watch the show? Of course not! They're driving people away in record numbers. Now, but you want to wing it. WWE's the only fucking company that I see. People working for this company, these are the only people that I've ever seen with a wing it like mentality. If I winged it, I wouldn't be as successful as I am as a small content creator. I wouldn't have an audience that actually wants to watch my shit if I just winged it. Give me a fucking break. How could you go into life, into a job, just winging it? How do you expect any type of positive result to come out of that by you winging it? Ridiculous! And then WWE expects us to care at the end of the day. Look at where they got Monday Night Raw. Right now, going into Monday Night Raw this week, look at the attitude and the entire just aura of Monday Night Raw. By them winging it, do you fucking care? Look at what they've done with the main event scene on Monday Night Raw. Winging it. Look at what they've done to you. They've beaten you down to a point where you don't even give a shit about Monday Night Raw, winging it. So they give us the same main event every fucking week, and a combination of the 6 guys that we see every single week. in one-on-one matches that we've seen in nauseam already, with more yet to come. If you think this is the end, you're a fool. We still have Survivor Series and TLC. If you don't think these 6 men will be going into battle again, leading into Survivor Series and TLC, or a mixture of the 6, you're a fool. But this is WWE. They're weighing it. And then people still say, well, if you don't like it, don't watch. Well, I'm sorry that you're a fucking simple-minded buffoon who accepts mediocrity. You're just following in WWE's footsteps. You're winging it on a week-to-week basis. Your life sucks, and you have no direction in life, and more than likely you will not be successful at whatever you try to attempt and do. Since Dean Ambrose returned to Monday Night Raw, the Shield haven't been quite right. The Shield hasn't been right in 2 years. Never mind, since Dean Ambrose returned, they weren't right last year, before Ambrose got hurt, and then after Ambrose came back, they still aren't right. Ambrose spent around 9 months on the shelf after tearing his bicep last year, when he and Rollins were in the midst of an excellent tag team title run, and the Shield were reunited. Since coming back to the company, Ambrose has picked up right where he left off, helping Rollins to a victory over Dolph Ziggler at SummerSlam, and having Roman Reigns back in his feud with Braun Strowman. However, WWE keeps teasing a heel turn for the former WWE champion, and his frustrations with his Shield brothers have become more and more evident as the weeks pass. Cracks seem to be appearing in the Shield. Meanwhile, the cracks in Monday Night Raw go unnoticed, and they think the Band-Aid, or the fucking, what's that shit? That, I forgot the fucking name of that shit. That fucking shit that you see on the infomercials. That flex tape. Ambrose, the Shield is the flex tape with that fucking loudmouth motherfucker on the infomercials where he's sitting in the fucking boat. There's a fucking boat cut in half, right? And he's flex taping the fucking boat, and then you see him motorboating on a fucking river. Look at me and my flex tape. Look, we can float on the water. The Shield is the flex tape to the fucking insurmountable cracks on Monday Night Raw. And they think that the cracks are just going to magically disappear because we do it for Roman, and Roman's the savior of the show. The Shield is back. Look at us. Bullshit. So, it's obvious to a point where, and you can see where this show's going, by the way, today. Ambrose, will he turn on Reigns and Rollins? Now, reports have suggested that the WWE are winging it with this Shield storyline, and there is no certain end destination in sight. There's no destination. Everything has a destination. Everything you do in life has a destination. Everything you do needs to have a conclusion. You started a job. You want to work your way up. Once you reach that destination, you want to learn more. And you want to go out and find another job and challenge yourself even more and get even higher. So one day, hopefully becoming a CEO. Right? That's the kind of mentality I have. I have a destination for this show. I want to be on Sirius XM. That is my destination. And even then, when I get there and I get to my destination, I will make a new destination. I have a destination with me just being on YouTube. The first one is getting 100,000 subscribers, getting that silver play button, hopefully upping the quality of the show with new cameras and new lighting. I already got a new fucking background. We're upping things here. Everything you do in life has a destination, but the WWE, taking 3 of the biggest guys that they got in their company on the same brand, there is no end destination. So again, let me revert back to what I just said. The only reason why they are together is because of Roman Reigns. His championship run has proved to be utterly useless. It's a waste of everybody's time. They're winging it with no end destination. Furthermore, there is apparently no set main event for WrestleMania 35, quote unquote, right now. But I'm sure if you pick Vince McMahon's brain, you're going to find The Rock versus Roman Reigns. Because Roman Reigns needs another coronation. He was already passed the torch by John Cena. He was already passed the torch by The Undertaker. The Rock helped him win the Royal Rumble and try and get over in Philadelphia, but they booed the shit out of him. So we'll get Dwayne Johnson back and have him raise The Rock's hand again amongst a chorus of boos in New York City of all fucking places. Guarantee you if you pick Vince McMahon's brain that The Rock and Roman Reigns are his main event for WrestleMania. Simple as that. Now, I don't know why. This adds to the stupidity of this company. Really. If I'm a wrestling promoter, or I am a wrestling company, or a man in charge of a company like this, and you have WrestleMania coming up, it's going to be November. In 2 weeks, it would be November, right? So that leaves December, January, February, March. 4 months. 4 months before WrestleMania. And you mean to tell me, in 4 months remaining, you don't have a fucking main event set or planned for WrestleMania? What the fuck does that tell you about Vince McMahon? You should already have in your fucking office, on your bulletin board, shit that you need to plan out and script for WrestleMania. You should have at least the first top 5-6 matches for WrestleMania already written in pencil. And then you graduate to a pen. And then you write it in fucking blood and set that shit in stone. Why? Why is everything with this company on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month basis? Can't we have a fucking company? Can't we have quality of shows that go on and have set plans and an end destination? Why? How does anybody get anything done in life without fucking planning? Especially when it comes to this shit. Honestly, the way I take things, in little things here and there, I take it as a day-by-day basis. But if I have things planned, if I know something is coming up, clearly there's going to be plans in place to make everything a lot easier. This company doesn't believe in planning at all. But there is no set main event for WrestleMania 35, something highly unusual for Vince McMahon. Really? I don't think so. I think this is how Vince McMahon operates at the age of 72. Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte is being considered, but not set in stone, while the belief is that the WWE still hopes to convince The Rock to face Roman Reigns. But what about Ambrose? Sources have told several people, like SE Scoops, Give Me Sport, Wrestling Inc., that the WWE are currently doing the slow burn with Ambrose, and they plan to do exactly what was scheduled for WrestleMania 34 before Ambrose got injured, turn him heel, and face Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 35. Now, if Reigns does not get to face The Rock, then Reigns may actually be inserted into the picture, and it will become a Shield triple threat match, something all fans could probably get behind. So if you guys need any more reason for Roman Reigns to be booed out of the fucking building, just put him in a match with Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. All I know is that if Reigns is in that match, in a Shield triple threat, he will be the one man that people don't want to see win. Now, only time will tell what happens with these three men. The only time that these three guys have battled it out in a triple threat match was Battleground 2016, when Ambrose won his first ever world title and took it to SmackDown Live. That is where I do believe Roman Reigns got suspended, if I'm not mistaken. If Rollins versus Ambrose is the plan for WrestleMania, expect the next few months to really develop their story. Yeah, but WWE is winging it. Do you expect WWE to get me to WrestleMania with Ambrose right now? Every single week. I want you guys to pay close attention to what I'm about to say and then correlate that with what you've seen on Monday Night Raw already. Do you guys expect Monday Night Raw to go anywhere with this? By all accounts, I guarantee you, you have already zoned out. WWE has foreshadowed Ambrose heel turn so badly already that when it happens, I don't even give a shit. I won't give a shit, and I won't give a shit about Rollins and Ambrose when it happens. When it was before Ambrose got hurt, we all expected it, we all kind of waited for it and anticipated it, and it never happened because Ambrose got hurt. So it was just left on the table, and WWE had to rewrite plans because Ambrose was hurt. But WWE was going in a way then where it was organically being built up. You didn't know when it was coming, and when it was coming, it was going to be a shock to everybody because they were so good as a tag team, and they were on the same page. And the story that they told leading up to that, with Ambrose being hesitant about joining Rollins because he felt that Rollins was only going to stab him in the back after what he did 4 years ago, that was a great storyline. Look at the emotion that we all felt. And I don't speak highly of Monday Night Raw at all. You know this. But when Ambrose and Rollins finally came together for that fucking Shield fist pump, that shit was great fucking television because WWE took you on a roller coaster of Rollins just having this aura about him that he couldn't be trusted. And Ambrose knew that. Ambrose was not going to get in bed with Rollins and team with him after knowing what he did to him already. Can you trust someone that's turned their back on a family, a brotherhood? And Ambrose caved in. Ambrose, the man who's pissed at the world, just caved in and said, fuck it, let's do it. And they won the tag team titles. And everything was just organic and great. So from then to an Ambrose heel turn, it would have all been organic and it would have been felt just all over as a natural thing that occurred. But now WWE has Ambrose back, and you could just feel that everything is forced. The Shield reunion is forced. Everything about it is forced. Them teaming together, getting the same matches week in and week out. How can anybody get excited about seeing these guys? I'm not saying that the matches have been bad, but it's the same fucking shit every single week. And more to come. And Ambrose, him foreshadowing, and Dolph Ziggler telling the truth and just kind of relaying what the audience is really feeling about this entire thing. Dropping truth bombs about what we're really thinking about Ambrose. Do you need them? Do they care about you? Etc., etc. They got championships and you don't. They're using you as a puppet. This is what we've been talking about for weeks. So when I hear that shit, I don't want it to come from somebody else. I didn't want it to come from McIntyre or Strowman or Ziggler. I wanted those words to come from Ambrose. How much of an effect did it have coming from Dolph Ziggler? All we did was, well, yeah, I'm thinking that, but it would have cut like fucking knives through hot butter if it came from Ambrose. If Ambrose was the one to tell that to both Rollins and Reigns when he turned on them in an organic way. Come on, man. I'm no rocket scientist. I'm no genius. But I know what would make sense and what would not. This entire thing is fucked up already. So when it happens, and when WWE pulls the trigger, is it really going to be as effective? No. Are you going to care about the Rollins-Ambrose match? No. You might, but not to its full potential. Are you going to care about a Shield triple threat match? No. Not at all. All I'm asking is if WWE wants to get things done right, then some planning has to go into it. Some thought has to go into it. You pretty much winging it is not going to cut it. We're in a day and age right now where wrestling fans are very fickle. They're very picky. They know what they like. They know what they don't like. They know what should be seen on television and what should not be presented on television. Whatever WWE is doing right now on Monday Night Raw is something that should not be presented, and it's being presented in a manner in which it makes the fans look like fucking idiots. Get on board and start planning with an end destination, and everything would be better. Ambrose, Rollins, and Reigns. You got three of the biggest names on Monday Night Raw, and you're fucking winging their storyline on a week-to-week basis? How much care? How much care do these people have for Monday Night Raw? Zero. Vince McMahon, how much care does he have for Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live? Zero. How much care does he have for the entire roster to a point where he's winging the fucking shows? Zero. It's all about one man and the love of another man. It's all about Vince McMahon, and it's all about the Roman Reigns agenda. If you're not on board with this, then I don't know what to fucking tell you. You are a lost soul. This shit is absolutely fucking sickening. When I hear shit like this, one of the things that pisses me off more than having a roster of fucking elite talent being wasted week in and week out is this. And then on top of that, there's no planning involved for anybody. Week to week basis. What is so busy? What is so big in this company that you can't write a fucking television show with an end destination in sight? Really? They have writers and writers and writers, and they have other people in management to take care of the other things that are more important than WWE, right? If you're a writer, then you should concentrate on writing. Why are you hiring writers if you're not going to allow them to write? 30 fucking guys on this creative team, right? On Monday Night Raw, and you can't have a fucking storyline in place that spans over 3 or 4 months? What are you doing with your fucking time? This show is written in one day. What are you doing with the other 6 fucking days? Every day of your week, minus a day off, every day of your week should be about writing this fucking show. The fuck do you have a job for? Why do you have creative writers? Well, that's right. The only creative writer that matters is Vince McMahon. We're winging it on Monday Night Raw, folks. They're winging it, and our attitudes on a week-to-week basis is winging it. Some weeks we care, some weeks we don't. It's been a damn long time since we actually fucking cared about Monday Night Raw. So when they're winging it, everybody's flying away. Because it could be felt and it could be seen all over Monday Night Raw. This is episode 244, part number 2. Hope you guys are ready, man. We got a bunch of Evolution news. One that I knew was inevitable, but it's downright fucking disgusting. And it's just WWE's way of saying fuck you to everybody that built the women's revolution in the modern day WWE. What am I talking about? We'll talk about it right here on episode 244, part number 2 of Off the Script. Off this shitty fucking product by coming on here and speaking the fucking goddamn truth about this fucking filth. And I can book a better show taking a fucking dump after eating my fucking Chipotle chorizo with extra cheese. I don't give a fuck what anybody has to say. Have I ever? Of course not. WWE's great, man. Fuck you, Japan, and Kenny Omega, Okada. Johnny! What is it, man? Can I suck your dick? What is it, man? Well, this is the #1 fucking podcast. Right here on YouTube.com! This is Off the Script. I think I'm gonna wing it on episode 244 here on Saturday. Just gonna wing it today. My voice is fucked up, man. I don't know what's going on. I honestly think I put a lot of strain because I strive for quality content. I want to bring a sense of realism to my WWE 2K19 videos to the point where it's blowing my voice out. I'm not even raging at Black Ops 4 like I should be doing because the game is a fucking broken piece of shit. But through 6 episodes, man, my voice has been this raspy, like sore, phlegmy. I don't know if it's like the change in weather or if it's actually the WWE 2K19 stuff because it's getting pretty fucking cold. But I'm trucking on, man. So I guess we'll wing it today, even with a fucking hoarse voice and a sore throat and a strained voice. I'm not winging shit. We're still going to show you the same intensity that you guys expect here on Off the Script. If you missed part one, man, to the gods of pro wrestling, I hope Fox and the reports of them wanting competitive WWE are true. Triple H has been doing it for years now in NXT. And I've stated many times throughout the years that WWE needs to start taking a little bit from NXT. We could actually see that next October with Fox and WWE when SmackDown Live moves to Fox 5 on Fridays. I hope. They could be our saviors. So if you guys want my thoughts on that, that is the big story on part one. Go and check it out. Link is in the annotation that you see in the top right corner, along with Raw, SmackDown, NXT, NXT UK, and we have WWE 2K19 videos as well. So make sure you guys go check all that stuff out. Follow me on Twitter, man. YouTube has been broken. YouTube actually went down worldwide on Tuesday, right before SmackDown Live. It was up after SmackDown Live was over, but it went down worldwide. And since then, it seems like it's been more broken than ever. People are telling me, people reaching out to me on Twitter, on email, JD, I'm not getting your videos. Did you upload the NXT UK? Meanwhile, the NXT UK video has been up for like 6 hours already. I know people aren't being notified or people just don't pay that good of attention. But everything you guys need, man, is on the channel. So make sure you guys are aware of when it goes up. Hit that subscribe button. We just officially hit 99,000 subscribers. We are less than 1,000 away. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Less than 1,000 away from 100,000 subscribers. Hit the bell. When you subscribe, hit the bell. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter because that should be your number one. Easily. Twitter is the best way to be notified of when I upload because everything I upload gets directly pushed to Twitter. So make sure you guys have all your bases covered. Follow me on Twitter, hit the subscribe button, then turn on the bell. And when you turn on the bell, make sure you go into the settings and turn on I want to be notified of all uploads. Not some, not only a few, all uploads. So thank you guys so very much for that. The new 100,000 subscriber commemorative Off the Script t-shirt is actually being approved right now. I have to wait on that, but it will be uploaded, I hope, by early next week. So if you guys are waiting on that, I will show the shirt off. I'll let it get approved by Barbershop and Pro Wrestling Tees, and then we'll debut it here, and then I will officially announce that it's on sale for you guys. So next week, I should have the shirt ready to go, on sale, on the store for you guys to purchase. And I'm telling you, man, if you guys have been a part of this journey for 100,000, and you guys have been with me all these years through 244 episodes of this show, and all the ranting, all the raving, all the bitching, all the moaning, all the complaining, all the truth, all the passion, all the love for this sport, you guys are definitely going to want to get this t-shirt, man. You know, I remember when the JD's Negan t-shirt went on sale, the amounts of sales I made on that shirt were just mind-blowing to me, man. I didn't think that there were that many people that supported what I did, that they would actually wear something that I thought of. And one of my guys, Connor, you know, he designed a t-shirt. I gave him an idea of what I wanted. I'm like, dude, I'm a big Negan guy. I want to try and incorporate Negan into a t-shirt, which I want to do another one of those too. I want to do like a part 2 of the Negan shirt. But he made it, and I remember where I was. I was actually at work, and I was getting an opinion from all the girls that I used to work with at the retail store, at the jewelry shop. And they were like, oh my God, that's great. Oh my God, that's great. When's it coming out? I love The Walking Dead. So when he got back to me, I went back and forth with him during the day, and boom, we came up with it while I was on shift at work. When I worked at Mr. 9 to 5 shift, you know? So this is going to blow that away, man. This is going to be so fucking great. I can't wait for you guys to see it. If you guys love old school heavy metal, that Metallica, Master of Puppets, Iron Maiden, you know, type shit, you guys are going to be blown away by this, man. Unbelievable. Should be on sale very, very soon, hopefully by early next week, and we'll debut it on the show here. I got to shout out, man. This literally just came through my email, man. An email popped up on my screen while I'm recording, and I want to shout out Chris Marcello. He's the newest Patreon. the newest patron to Team JD, with a $15 pledge, man. Thank you guys so very much for all that. You guys are so awesome. And I'm still blown away that you guys would actually pledge to me, you know, and deem me worthy of a monthly subscription on Patreon. Just for the sake of it, man. Just because you want to fucking support, just because you love what I do here. You know, also, shout out to Tyler Black. Shout out to Levi. Levi has actually bought every single shirt in the barbershop online store. It's ridiculous. He sent me a picture on Patreon. He had a whole fucking bed covered in my t-shirts, man. It was absolutely fucking unbelievable. Brother, you're going to get a chance to get the new t-shirt soon. So hopefully you'll pick that one up. Also, shout out to, like I said, Tyler Black and Chris Marcello, Levi, and we had some others, man. Dustin Spies, Martin Smith, Dante Brown, and Numb Warrior 164. Thank you guys so very much for being a part of the Patreon family, man. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. You guys know the deal with the sponsors, man. Barbershop Window, get your t-shirts. Barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. The best designs in the podcast game. Right here on YouTube, man. No doubt, nobody even comes close. Use code BSHOP20 for 20% off every single order, man. Do it and get your t-shirts, man. Support by buying and wearing some OTS merchandise. Harry's.com/script. This is something that I've loved, man, and I'm so fortunate that I've been a partner with Harry's, and it's something that I use. Like, I want stuff that I'm going to use, and I want stuff that I could easily say, this is awesome, that I'm going to put my name to. I would never give you guys a product or promote a product on this show that I don't use. And coincidentally, when I knew Harry's was open to sponsorships and I was already using them, I'm like, I got to sign up for these guys, man. I got to see what's going on here if they want to be a part of the OTS team. And they were. They wanted to be, and we signed up, and we got a great year-long sponsorship with these guys, man. Harry's.com/script. You guys are going to get a free trial shave set just for using our unique link, man. This is only good for OTS listeners. Harry's.com/script for your free trial. You're going to get a razor handle, a razor blade, a protective case for your blade, and foaming shave gel, which people tell me every week, man, JD, this feels great on my face. So make sure you guys go and get your free trial shave set, man. Listen, you know, this is not only for the men. For you ladies out there, for the little amount of ladies that listen to the show, Harry's is good for you as well. You guys can do this for yourself. Or if you guys want to wait till Christmas and you guys need ideas for gifts or stocking stuffers, Harry's is a great stocking stuffer, man. All you got to do is, like I said, go to harrys.com/script, enter your information, $2 or $3 shipping and handling, and within days, you guys are going to get the trial set delivered to your mailbox, man. It doesn't get any better than that. And when you finally shave with this thing, you're going to say, damn, JD was right, man. Harrys.com/script. The best shave right now on the market. Guaranteed. So check that out, man. Audible. Audibletrial.com/offthescript. You guys know the deal with that. They've been a partner for close to 2 years now, man. And they are a great friend of the show. Audible is giving you guys 30 days free. And that is 1 month. 1 month free of their service. And they are going to include a free audiobook. All you guys have to do is use our unique link, audibletrial.com/offthescript. Go through the sign-up process, choose your free audiobook, and you're good to go, man. Available on iPhone and Android devices. You guys are going to get the free audiobook. And listen, this is the kicker, man. This is the best thing. If you guys sign up and you don't like the service and say, well, you know, I'm not really going to use this, I just wanted to support JD and Off the Script, you guys can cancel within the 30 days and keep your audiobook on the house for free as just a thank you from Audible, man. So you can't beat it. Great way to support the show. Audibletrial.com/offthescript. Thank you guys so very much for all that. I want to start off with NXT. I want to start off with NXT, man. I got a few NXT stories here. Now, as we talked about on Wednesday, and we kind of went over again briefly on Friday of Off the Script, Aleister Black came back to NXT, and it was revealed to him by Miss Cross, Nikki Cross, of who the attacker was. Now, unfortunately, there were some people on social media that wanted to be funny, and their humor had really gone noticed. It was noticed, and they received benchings for their humor, for ruining the attacker for me. This is why I wish NXT was live every single week, and why I hate being in the position that I'm in sometimes. This is one of the minor things that I don't like about being an online personality. People think that they're smart and they're funny, and they're not, and they will be dealt with accordingly, and then they want to bitch on social media. Well, JD blocked me. Well, don't be a fucking asshole. And I won't block you. But I unfortunately know who the attacker is. I will reveal nothing. I will not spoil it for everybody. And I will not give you my 2 cents on what I feel about it until we see it unfold on television. But Nikki Cross on Wednesday revealed to Aleister Black who the attacker was, and he had a convulsion, a stroke. Looked like he was going to pop a blood vessel on Wednesday. So Nikki Cross now has revealed to Aleister Black who the attacker is, and she has hinted at knowing even more secrets in the wake of her finally revealing to Aleister Black who it is that attacked him. Despite not being called up to the main roster alongside Eric Young and Killian Dane and Alexander Wolf, which by all accounts right now, if we're looking at it, for everybody that was like, oh, where's Nikki Cross? How come Nikki Cross is not with Sanity? Why would you even ask if Nikki Cross is going to SmackDown? Why would you bestow that horrific nightmare upon her? Now looking back at it, do you think it was the right decision for her to stay in NXT? Abso-fucking-lutely. Because where's Sanity right now? Oh, that's right. They're in catering, decorating pumpkins for the Halloween season. So despite not being called up to the main roster alongside Sanity, Cross is still finding success and is probably the most popular woman on the NXT roster. Really. I honestly think she's the most popular woman on the NXT female roster. She's finding success in both her character and her in-ring work. And as one of the most popular females in NXT, that shouldn't come as much of a surprise. But this latest Secrets storyline seems to have taken her to the next level. Now, Nikki closed out this week's edition of NXT alongside Aleister Black, and she appears to have given fans her own review of the situation. For fans who have read up on NXT's taping and the spoilers, you are already aware of who Aleister Black's attacker is. But if you're following along with the story, then this must be quite intriguing. Now, NXT knows how to make the most of their time, even with only being 1 hour. As we gear up for the next NXT TakeOver special, which I can't wait for. It feels like it's been forever since our last TakeOver. It really does feel like they're hitting their stride. They've been hitting their stride. This is nothing new here, as they always seem to do. Nikki has been on fire as of late, and that looks to continue. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not she gets the call to appear on Raw or SmackDown before we hit 2019. If she doesn't, we can expect to see some kind of appearance at Evolution, potentially in the Battle Royal match, which right now means nothing to anybody in there. So Nikki Cross is hinting at more secrets. I don't know what that could possibly entail after the attacker has been revealed already, but I mentioned this. 2 things I want to mention here. One, you got to give it to NXT, man, for thinking on their feet and being quick-witted about a devastating injury to Aleister Black. You know, he lost the title, he was hurt, he was taken out of the TakeOver Brooklyn main event, and WWE had to rewrite everything that they had in store. And to do that in such a quick time and still deliver a storyline that every single person right now is intrigued by. And quite frankly, this may very well be the best storyline in all of WWE right now. What does that say? So I commend NXT so much for thinking on their feet and turning a major, major wrong into a huge right. Aleister Black going down was devastating. Really. It was devastating to Ciampa. It was devastating to Gargano. It was devastating to the entire picture that Triple H probably had painted for himself. And they turned everything that happened there into a resounding success. And number two, with the reveal of the attacker, and being that I know who it is, I mentioned this on NXT. I don't know where they could possibly go with this, and it's really difficult for me to just sink my teeth into it right now because I'm thinking more about what could be than looking at it in a negative way. But all I will say is this. It's one of those situations that could end up being huge for everybody involved. And it's definitely, from Triple H's mindset, something that was definitely ruined with Aleister Black going down. This actually has helped Aleister Black even more so, because if you guys recall, when he was the NXT champion, he had no heat underneath him at all. It was all towards Gargano and Ciampa because they were setting the fucking wrestling world on fire. And when Aleister Black went down, this obviously was a negative for storylines, but it was a huge positive for him and him returning. But as far as the attacker goes, it's more of those, if you can't beat him, join him type scenarios, which has me very intrigued. And I can't wait to see this thing unfold. It's one thing to know what happened because of some fucking idiots in the community, but it's also another thing to see it unfold on television. You can hear it from someone's mouth or read it on a dirt sheet, but when you finally see it unfold, it's a completely different beast. And that's what I'm looking forward to seeing how this entire thing unfolds and the body expression and the facial reactions from everybody involved, man. It's going to be a great, great night when that surprise, that attacker, is actually revealed. I'm loving NXT, man. I'm an NXT mark. You guys know me. Everything that they're doing right now is can't miss. This is the best storyline in all of WWE right now. I got a bunch of Evolution news, man. Most of this podcast today is going to be taken up by Evolution news because seemingly we got 2 weeks to go until Evolution, and WWE is building what they can with Crown Jewel and Evolution. Evolution seems to have taken a back seat, but this story came in today and it hit my newsfeed today. And obviously, I've been talking about this on the show, and I've been very, very disenchanted with everything concerning the women's divisions on Raw and SmackDown on the main roster. And this could be the proverbial nail in the coffin for the Evolution and this revolution. And it could be an absolute disaster. An absolute disaster on everybody. On every single woman on this roster if this news actually becomes a reality. The entire division will have zero credibility if what I'm about to read to you happens. Ronda Rousey could become the next star of Total Divas. I'll let that sink in. If you're driving, please keep your eyes on the road. I know you're probably seething with anger right now. Don't let it bother you. Don't let it bother you. I'm sorry if you're eating anything at the moment, or if you're sitting down for breakfast, or you're sitting down at dinner when you're listening to me. Please don't spit out your food. Don't choke on your food. I understand. I feel your frustration already. I feel your frustration coming through your speakers, or your TVs, or your phones, or your PCs. I understand it. Believe me. Believe me. Calm down. Calm down. This is something that is inevitable, and this is something that I've talked about for weeks now, and nobody wants to listen to me. This is a disaster waiting to happen, and I feel sorry. I honestly feel sorry for everybody that has to take a back seat to this fucking garbage. Ronda Rousey could become the next big star of Total Divas. Dave Meltzer reported in the latest issue of the Wrestling Observer newsletter that those within WWE are talking about approaching Rousey to become a regular cast member after the recent decline in ratings for the show. You guys want to know what the ratings have been through 5 episodes? Listen to this. Episode 1 did the lowest viewership in the history of the show, 454,000 viewers. Week 2, did 390. Week 3 did 367. Week 4 did 380. And episode 5, week 5, did 340,000 viewers. The least amount of viewers in the show's history. So I want to genuinely ask you. What good is this show for the betterment of the women's divisions on Raw and SmackDown Live? This is nothing more than a hindrance on the growth of the evolution of women's wrestling. And I don't think I could state anything more true leading up to the pay-per-view. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. Whatever viewers they're pulling in from the E! Network has no bearing on Monday Night Raw. These are not the people you want watching your show. I'm letting you know right now. I don't give a fuck what type of audience is there. I don't give a shit if you have zero knowledge of the WWE product. I don't want these people to tune in to E! Network and then start watching WWE. Those are not the fans that we want. Honestly. They're there to watch bullshit. They don't have any grasp on what makes the Evolution special. They weren't there when it was born in NXT. They weren't there when Sasha and Bayley broke barriers at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4 years ago. Those are not the people that we want. This is a minuscule audience that means nothing. Nothing to Monday Night Raw and the women's division. Yet this audience on E! is used in promos by the Bellas in which they state, well, we broke barriers. We broke barriers for this division. You didn't break no fucking barriers. I wish the barriers would stay up to keep you fucking out of the Revolution. Meltzer believes that if they do bring Rousey in for the series, several aspects of the show may have to change. I quote, this is from Meltzer. It's a smart move in that it ups the profile of the show. I wish the show would get canceled. Seriously, I wholeheartedly wish and pray upon a shooting star that Total Divas gets canceled. Because the longer that this show is on, the more you will see garbage on Monday Night Raw. You do realize that every week, every year that this show is on, that some type of bullshit from this show is going to bleed into storyline on Monday Night Raw. If this show wasn't around, then WWE might have the perception of putting on better women's matches on Monday Night Raw. But with this shit around, WWE will forever be ingrained and stuck in the Divas division. They will be stuck with the diva mentality in mind. This show is downright stifling the growth of the evolution of women's wrestling. Sasha Banks would rather cut her arm off. I guarantee you would rather cut her arm off than be on this fucking piece of shit show. That's a woman that people need to respect. She stands her ground. She knows what's more important. This is fucking bullshit. Meltzer says, and I quote, it's a smart move that it ups the profile of the show. But they'd probably also have to change the aspects of that same show. Some of the aspects, like the scripted issues, could say, but a lot of the show is still about setting up gratuitous bikini shots to promote the next episode during a regular show. And while Rousey has done her swimsuit modeling in Sports Illustrated, that feels like the wrong fit with the character she portrays on other shows. Then again, they did have Lana as Russian on the regular show and not Russian on Total Divas. So in a sense, they are seen as separate worlds. No, they're not. No, they're not. They're not seen as separate worlds because everything that you see on Total Divas somehow makes it onto Monday Night Raw and vice versa. Vice versa. You think I like that Lana just magically got rid of the Russian accent with no explanation? It's ridiculous. So, the show drew 340,000 viewers in week 5. I hope by the season finale that this show is in the 250s. Seriously. I don't know who on this earth could think this is a right thing. And the fucked up thing, here's the kicker. The mentality of these people look at how much pandering they're doing to Total Divas. Like 340,000 people. Who gives a shit? What type of audience are you trying to grab with these viewers? How important is this show to everybody in the company? It's a complete waste of everybody's fucking time. And you could see the devotion from the WWE management on what their priorities are. Are their priorities getting the women's evolution right back to where it was? And what it stands for truly? And what is important in the growth of women's wrestling? Or is it more important to get Ronda Rousey, who is a legitimate fucking fighter, one of the baddest women on the planet, someone who was brought in to legitimize the entire division as competitive, and you want to throw that all away by taking her and putting her on a show just to save a show that means nothing in the end? You're going to delegitimize Ronda Rousey, you're going to delegitimize the Raw Women's title, and you're going to delegitimize the entire evolution of women's wrestling and cater to these people and treat everything you built up and the reason for everything happening as a complete joke. But nobody sees this. Everybody's going to be like, well, this is a smart move. Everybody's going to tune in to see Ronda Rousey on the reality TV show. I don't give a fuck. We're not in a reality TV world here in WWE. When wrestling is changing and WWE has this evolution, which is a crock of shit, it's nothing but false pretenses and false advertisement, and it's nothing but diva underneath what everything was built. Everything that was built around the evolution is nothing but diva. It's got a cloud of diva hanging over it. The women's wrestling and the women's evolution look to break through that diva cloud. And WWE continues to just suppress and suppress and suppress. This is a terrible mistake. I'm telling you right now, the simplest way for me to put it is, if you want to kill everything about women's wrestling right now, from the days in which NXT started to build this thing, then by all means, put Ronda Rousey on Total Divas. I will be the first to fucking tell you that this is a goddamn fucking joke. A goddamn joke. And another thing, if Total Divas and everybody associated with Total Divas was so must-see, right? If it was so great and these women were so spectacular and so talented and everybody was just clamoring to see these women, right? Look at the ratings for this show. If these women were as popular as WWE thinks they are, then why aren't people watching the show? Why aren't people going out of their way to watch the show? People like me. People like you guys. Why aren't you going out of your way to watch the women of WWE presented in a spotlight away from what you see on television? Why? Because they are not as big as WWE portrays them. Meanwhile, everybody that's on this show has the most important matches on Evolution. What does that say about everything that's going on right now with the current state of women's wrestling? Think about that. Think about that. The women who are on this show have the most important matches on Evolution in 2 weeks. The women who are not on this show are pushed down and given nothing. I don't know how I could explain it anymore. If you don't think that's fucked up, I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you. Things need to change. Things need to change in this company ASAP. This women's evolution, I swear to God, I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it every week until we actually end this shit. I hope this show bombs in nuclear-like ways. I really do. I swear to God, I hope it fails. They deserve it. They deserve it. Because this is not what we want. This is not what's supposed to be presented. And everything that has been special about this evolution and the things that have been built around it, the characters that have been built around it, the characters that were at the forefront of this entire thing have been given the fucking shit end of the card. Meanwhile, everybody on Total Divas and Total Bellas, the reality shit, has been given the most important matches. Disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. Here's another instance in which WWE just doesn't care about the women's evolution. How some of the women talent found out about the Evolution Battle Royal. During Raw this week, WWE revealed yet another match for the upcoming all-women's pay-per-view in Uniondale, Long Island, New York. The match itself surprised many fans and superstars alike by judging the reactions on social media. And the reactions were not positive. While some are promoting the Battle Royal as historic. Now, let me cut the news article here. WWE is promoting this Battle Royal as historic. The Battle Royal at WrestleMania was historic, right? Naomi won that Battle Royal, if my memory serves me correctly. And with the women, I'm amazed that I actually got that right. Naomi won the Battle Royal. Where did that Battle Royal take Naomi during the year? Oh, that's right. Dancing with Asuka like a clown for a useless match against the Iconics at Super Showdown. Naomi and Asuka are next going to show up at your child's birthday party in colorful outfits, dancing amongst the little children in attendance as birthday cake and apple juice and sippy cups are sold or passed out, you know, and presents are being unboxed. You got Naomi and fucking and Asuka dancing around, right? That's their next gig. This is what Naomi did with the Battle Royal win at WrestleMania. Garbage. Absolute garbage. You might as well have given Naomi a fucking sippy cup with high C fruit punch in it. That would have been more prestigious and a better prize in the end than what she got anyway with the Battle Royal. A useless vagina-looking trophy that I'm sure she put out to fucking pasture as soon as the fucking event was over. Now, they're promoting the Battle Royal as historic. We've already seen this at WrestleMania. It wasn't historic then, and it's not going to be historic now. The reactions from the female talent on social media seem to suggest otherwise. In fact, Fightful and Sean Ross Sapp reports that the women on SmackDown Live actually learned about the Battle Royal when it was announced on Raw, while the women on Raw found out a few hours earlier. In particular, Peyton Royce, Billie Kay, Lana, and Naomi voiced their displeasures using GIFs throughout their social media. Raw's Dana Brooke, which I don't even know who the fuck listens to Dana Brooke anyway. Why are you even following Dana Brooke on social media? Really? What does she have to say that is of any importance? So Dana Brooke on social media and Tori Wilson chimed in. Their comments were a little bit more positive. Well, Tori Wilson, I mean, she's in a Battle Royal. She's returning to the ring. So, of course, it's going to be positive for her. Dana Brooke, she hasn't seen fucking work all year. So, of course, she's positive. She's on the Evolution pay-per-view. She'll take whatever the fuck she can. Doesn't mean I want to see her. So, the Battle Royal is taking up the majority of the women. That leaves little room for other match confirmations. This has many upset. As it stands, the Evolution card includes the following matches. Becky Lynch defending the SmackDown Live Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair in a last woman standing match. Ronda Rousey defending the Raw Women's title against Nikki Bella for the Raw Women's Championship. Kairi Sane versus Shayna Baszler. Kairi defending the NXT Women's Championship against Shayna Baszler. This will be Shayna Baszler's last NXT title match. She will not win. She will be promoted to the main roster after Survivor Series. That is my prediction. Mae Young Classic Final. Trish Stratus and Lita versus Alexa Bliss and Mickie James. The Battle Royal. And while I make you nauseous during your days, I'm sorry again that I've made you nauseous twice with the Ronda Rousey Total Divas news. Listen to this. It is also expected that Natalya, Sasha Banks, and Bayley will take on the Riot Squad in a 6-man tag. I have no words. And I know you're listening to me, you're thinking, well, did the podcast shut off? What's going on? Did I accidentally hit pause? No, I'm just speechless. I'm speechless. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to think. I feel sorry. If I could hug Sasha Banks, listen, I'd hug Bayley too. I'd give Bayley the best hug she's ever received in her entire life. These women have to be fucking miserable. Miserable. Then you got some fucking internet goon. Well, they should be proud that they're on the women's evolution. Listen. If I'm a woman in this division or on this roster, and this is the card that they present to me, I am absolutely not wanting to be on this show. This is a fucking crock of shit. How do you think Sasha Banks feels. Put yourself in Sasha Banks' fucking wrestling boots. How do you feel if you're Sasha Banks? That you've done all that you could. You're one of the most popular, if not the most popular, women's wrestler on the entire roster. And this is their thank you. This is WWE's thank you to Sasha Banks. Thank you for all you've done. Instead of giving you a high-profile match on our first ever women's pay-per-view, we're going to put you in a match that we've already put you in 56 other fucking times during the goddamn year. How do you think Miss Banks feels? So next time you want to fucking poke fun at Sasha Banks on social media, maybe you should be a little bit more sensitive to the fact that she's probably frustrated more so than anybody in this entire company. That is a fucking joke. What are we gonna see different in this six-man tag on Evolution that we haven't seen done in the other fucking matches that we've seen with these 5 women? Now, difference is, Natalya's there. Seriously. What a joke. I am really contemplating doing a fucking video on how Evolution should have been booked. And the matches that should have been on Evolution. And Asuka's in the Battle Royal. Ember Moon's in the Battle Royal, right? Naomi's in the Battle Royal. Tori Wilson's coming back. Oh my God, I can't wait. Kelly's probably coming back. Oh my God, Candice Michelle's probably coming back. They're probably reaching out to Rosa fucking Mendez. And then the NXT talent. Bianca Belair, Candice LeRae, Lacey Evans, Nikki Cross, and everybody else involved in making the NXT women's division fucking great. Battle Royal. Battle Royal. Instead of giving them a great spotlighted match or a tag team match, just throw them in the Battle Royal. A Battle Royal that means nothing. You get a future women's title match. This show fucking sucks. This show sucks. This will fail. No reason why they have to put on this type of shit. They have all the talent in the world to make it really fucking special. And this is the best way to go about it. WWE Evolution is set to take place on October 28th, emanating from the Nassau Coliseum. Women of the past, present, and future will be present depending on the success of this show. WWE may produce more exclusive shows for the women moving forward. At this rate, I hope this is the only year they do it. I feel so... If you're watching me, I'm letting you know right. I'm looking directly in your fucking face. I'm letting you know that I feel no sympathy for you if you bought tickets to the show. None. You're a goddamn fucking fool. Fuck out of here. Seems like WWE may have ruffled some feathers. When aren't they ruffling fucking feathers? With their announcement of the Women's Battle Royal, some talent isn't too excited about it backstage. I wonder why. They would have rather received the chance to wrestle in an actual match during the 4-hour pay-per-view. This company's a fucking joke. Dave Meltzer says, I'm assuming we're going to get some NXT girls tossed into the ring as well. It will kind of be like a reconfigured version of the Women's Battle Royal at WrestleMania. Shayna Baszler is set to face Kairi Sane in an attempt to regain her NXT Women's title. And the Mae Young Classic final will be there, which will probably tear the entire fucking house down. That will be the best match on the show, bar none. So, it looks like any females from NXT called for Evolution might be playing a role in the Battle Royal as a participant and nothing else. Fuck you, WWE. How long Ronda Rousey versus Nikki Bella is expected to be at Evolution? WWE Evolution, main event, Bowser. I'd rather see fucking Bowser capture the fucking princess at Evolution. Where's Mario? Come to save the day. Where's Toad? Maybe Luigi will get the fucking hot tag. Rousey versus Bella is the main event. Mike Johnson of PW Insider spoke about how WWE might be wiser to keep Rousey and Nikki Bella short. It would be wiser if the match doesn't take place. But short, I'll take as a consolation prize. Or else they run the risk of something not too great going down. Well, there's something not too great already happening with this show. Never mind the main event. He says, and I quote, "Does anybody really expect Ronda Rousey and Nikki Bella to go 30 minutes? I mean, certainly Charlotte and Becky have that ability. They kind of have the texture and finesse to their work that you would expect that match could go 30 minutes. Nikki Bella? Come on. Ronda Rousey? I love Ronda, and I think she's great, and I respect Nikki Bella. I don't think it's going to behoove either of them to be in a 30 to 20 minute match, even if there is smoke and mirrors and run-ins and things like that. It's going to expose them. Therefore, you can probably expect a shorter match out of Bella and Rousey, but then again, Nikki also has to worry about re-injuring herself, which is something she doesn't need as she continues her lingerie, wine, and real estate career on the side, not to mention her career as a reality television star. So, when someone wants to explain to me that the Bellas have done so much for the Evolution and so much for women's wrestling, what exactly has she done? Oh, but JD, she's the longest reigning Divas champion ever, man. Blow me. Blow me. What difference does that make in the grand scheme of what we're building towards? Zero. The only thing that Nikki Bella has done is made herself a bigger name by using the WWE platform, a platform in which she really isn't all that good at. She created herself in WWE to get a lingerie deal, to get a Bella name on her wine, and the other shit that she's got, a real estate career. Really? Look at all the shit that she has going for her outside of WWE. Does she really need to come in here and ruin Evolution's main event? Bullshit. Only time will tell what WWE does or how they book the Evolution pay-per-view. Rousey said she's main eventing Evolution, and whether she's in the last match of the night or not, it's still a marquee match. However, if WWE really wants to end Evolution with a great wrestling match, it's probably safer to put Charlotte and Becky in the main event and let them do their thing in the first ever, I don't know why they're saying first ever, last woman standing match. I guess Asuka and Nikki Cross is something that I just didn't see, right? I don't understand that. Wasn't that last year? Asuka and Nikki Cross, right? Last woman standing? First time ever for what? In my sense, in my mind, it's the second time ever. Start showing some respect for the fucking shit that happens in NXT. Please? Fucking bullshit. Speaking of which, let's move away from the bullshit. Let's move away from all the negative. Tegan Nox. Tegan Nox publicly reveals how serious her injury from the Mae Young Classic actually is. Listen to this. Taking to her Twitter account after the final episode of the Mae Young Classic. If you guys watched, Tegan Nox battled Rhea Ripley, and within seconds, a suicide dive ended her wrestling year, pretty much. And she's going to be out for the next year. Now, she took to Twitter and said this, and I quote, "On last night's episode of the Mae Young Classic during my match with Rhea Ripley, I suffered an injury to my left leg very early on, and as soon as it happened, I knew it was serious. I tried to carry on as far as I could, but a few minutes later, trying to push through the pain and finish the match, it all got too much, and the match was stopped. Being greeted backstage by the distraught faces of my friends and coaches was the most heartbreaking thing I've ever experienced, and it hurt me more than the injury itself. Knowing how excited they were for me to compete this year and how hard they helped me work, then having it taken away so quickly, it was devastating. I felt as if I had let them down, and it broke my heart. Triple H was the first of many people there, and I'll never forget the words he and Mr. Regal said. There were many things said to me that night by people I hold so dearly that continuously play through my mind on a loop, especially when I'm having a bad day mentally, that helped me pick my head up and give me the kick up the ass that I needed. Anyway, after being checked over by the doc, I was taken to the local hospital where I was diagnosed with numerous injuries to the left leg, which included dislocated kneecap. Luckily, it reset itself instantly. Torn MCL, LCL. I completely tore my ACL and both meniscus. And She says one had a lightning bolt-shaped tear. Still a wizard when injured, because her finishing move is the shiniest of wizards. Bone contusions, and it's nice to see that she has a sense of humor amongst a dark time. Bone contusions, and I had a second fracture on my left tibia. Basically, my knee exploded, and I made a huge mess. Days later, I was sent to one of the best surgeons who also fixed my right knee, and on August 23rd, I underwent ACL and meniscus reconstruction surgery, which was a flying success. Obviously, this means I'll be out for a while, but with the incredible doctors and the PT team at the Performance Center, I'll be back shinier than ever. We're already almost 2 months into rehab, and it's going amazingly. We're right on track and smashing goals already. I can't thank Triple H, the coaches, the medic staff, my friends, family, and fans enough for all the support that you've given me over the past few weeks. They've been very tough, both physically and more so mentally, but I've done it once, so I can do it again. It's going to be a long road to recovery, but it's already started, and I plan on making my return special. There's going to be some changes, but they'll be all for the best. As Triple H said, this is just a bump in the road. This isn't the end. Trust me. End quote. If you guys watched that Mae Young Classic, man, when she went against Rhea Ripley, I said this on Wednesday when I covered it in the NXT review. If you guys wanted to know where my Mae Young Classic coverage was, it's in the NXT review. I said it in my NXT review, man. I would be lying to you if I told you I did not shed a tear watching that, man. I'm telling you. You know, it's different compared to watching it. When you're reading it online and then going back and watching what actually happened, it's a completely different beast. I mentioned this when I was talking about the Nikki Cross situation where the attacker was revealed on the next set of tapings. You know, you could tell me who it was and all this shit. It's different reading it and then watching it play out on television. This was more so that. There was a haunting silence that came over that Full Sail crowd, man, which was absolutely fucking heartbreaking. The silence itself was heartbreaking. The silence led to you hearing everything that Tegan was saying, man. She was crying to a point where the doctor came up to her and you heard her, word for word, I can't do this again. The fact that that woman knew she was hurt after that suicide dive and tried to get back in there and wrestle and telling the referee, she told the referee, I'm good, which threw a little wrench into my mind. I'm like, is this a storyline? Really? Are they building up for something bigger here? And then Rhea delivered a devastating dropkick, and that was it. She couldn't do it anymore. I commend that woman for even getting back in there. If that was me, I would have said, fuck it, I'm done. I can't do it anymore. She got in there for another 2 or 3 minutes and let Rhea beat up on her with all that shit that happened. Everything that she told you, she tore and completely destroyed. She went in there and still tried to wrestle a match. That in itself is absolutely fucking unbelievable. I said I didn't know who Tegan Nox was before this. I didn't know her prior history to the Mae Young Classic. This Mae Young Classic 2018 was the first time that I've seen her wrestle. But with this injury, I know she had it done to the other knee. This was on the good knee. Now she's got 2 reconstructive knee surgeries. Triple H says to trust her, or to trust him, and trust the process, right? WWE and Tegan Nox. WWE has a huge star in the making. This made rounds all across the wrestling industry. Tegan Nox may be going through a mentally and physically tough time right now. But the same thing with Joey Janela. Joey Janela is going to be out a year. He blew his knees out on a cross-body block that he did fucking time and time again. He's going to come back bigger and better than ever. He's going to come back looking better than ever. He's going to come back with a huge return. Tegan Nox is going to come back and be bigger than she ever was. And WWE has a huge opportunity to make a huge, genuine, emotional fucking storyline with this. If Tegan comes back before next year's Mae Young Classic and she's in next year's Mae Young Classic, that is your winner. That is your winner. And you know what? Tegan and Rhea Ripley were going back and forth on social media. Rhea Ripley, you know, after Tegan released this statement and they showed video of Triple H consoling her in the back, Rhea Ripley, in her character, of course, tweeted out, "Cry me a river." There's your finals for the Mae Young Classic next year. Rhea Ripley versus Tegan Nox with Tegan Nox winning. Simple as that. This is a storyline that's going to write itself. I don't need to tell you guys that. If you guys have any wrestling knowledge at all, Tegan Nox is the winner of the 2019 Mae Young Classic. Simple. This is going to make her a bigger star than she ever thought she could be. So I hope she gets back. I hope she gets back soon. I hope rehabilitation goes well. And believe it or not, Tegan Nox was supposed to beat Rhea Ripley. Tegan Nox was supposed to beat Rhea Ripley. It was supposed to be Tegan Nox versus Io Shirai. Some people are saying Tegan Nox was going to win the whole fucking tournament. I'm not sure how true that is with Io and Toni Storm in the tournament, but, you know, the thought of her winning it was there. She was supposed to go on to fight Io Shirai. It wasn't supposed to be Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley was not supposed to win that match. Rhea Ripley was gifted a spot in the semifinals. Not to say that Rhea doesn't deserve it, because she's been fucking fantastic. And I'm looking forward to an Io versus Rhea Ripley match. I think that's going to be a hard-hitting fucking match. Io is great, and Rhea is certainly out to prove herself. So, it's going to be an interesting Mae Young Classic, man. Stemming from what happened on episode 7, going into episode 8 with Rhea Ripley and Io Shirai, and Tegan Nox going into next year's tournament, you got yourself your 2019 winner right there. Seriously. Because by that time, Io is going to be in NXT. Toni Storm is probably going to be in NXT. They don't need to be in the tournament. They've already built a foundation for themselves. The tournament should be used to build other talent up and get talent that we don't know out there to the spotlight. Rhea and Tegan are prime examples of that. I'm hoping that we could see that in 2019. How long am I in this thing, man? We're 52 minutes in. I'll do one more story, and then we'll get the hell out of here. Because I got a bunch of little stories that we'll save for the remainder of the weekend. Being that we open with NXT and Nikki Cross and Aleister Black's attacker and the fact that she's got more secrets, I'll end with an NXT story. Vince McMahon apparently does not watch NXT. And Brian Alvarez stated why Vince McMahon not watching NXT is a good thing. We don't need Brian Alvarez to state the obvious. Vince McMahon runs the show where WWE is concerned in every facet of the business. But he might not have time to focus on every detail of the things going on in the company, especially considering the number of hours WWE puts out every week and in the way of content. Of course he doesn't have all the eyes he wants to on the business when he's dealing with Saudi government and the U.S. government and the Saudi deal and Crown Jewel and the stocks and the network and Roman Reigns and Roman Reigns and Roman Reigns. You know, there's a lot for Vince McMahon to handle. You know? Fuck NXT. You figured if Vince McMahon would watch NXT, he'd be like, oh, well, look at what they're doing. They're doing great. Maybe we should incorporate that to the main roster. No, fuck no. No, I'm signing the checks on these guys. Fuck the talent down there. You know? Vince will make the call. I want this guy. I want that guy. You know, well, he don't even know what the fuck he's getting. He don't know what they've done. You don't know what type of character they are. He'll look at them. Fuck them. Throw them in the waste bin. Of course, there are some doubters that McMahon isn't paying attention to NXT. Dave Meltzer mentioned on the Wrestling Observer Radio Show that Triple H said that McMahon hasn't watched an entire episode of NXT ever. And that may be a good thing. I think that's not a good thing. I think that maybe he could learn something if he's capable of learning. Then co-host Brian Alvarez noted that McMahon just to screw everything up if he watched NXT on a weekly basis, which he would. Meltzer continued, yeah, that's possible too. You know, Alvarez says that if McMahon was watching NXT, he would screw everything up. But it's possible. NXT is supposed to be developmental to send people up to the main roster, so I'm not sure. I mean, I see these guys brought up and nothing. There's a lot of guys that he may look at and just decide in his unique way and just whatever. He'd like Lars Sullivan, though. That's what Meltzer states. I mean, there's a lot to like in NXT. I mean, if you're Vince McMahon and you have lined up in front of you Ricochet, Adam Cole, Lars Sullivan, Undisputed Era, right? Pete Dunne. How are you going to look at those guys and not say, man, your palms will get itchy knowing what to do with these guys, man. You'll be fucking excited to start booking your main shows with these guys, right? I don't understand that mentality. Brian Alvarez pointed out that McMahon would be pulling up talents before they are ready as well, and Meltzer confirmed that he would for sure be doing that as well. So maybe if Vince McMahon really isn't paying attention to NXT, that might not be the worst thing, because a lot of pure wrestling fans have gravitated to NXT from the WWE main rosters for better pro wrestling. But it's all under the same roof and owned by Vince McMahon, so he could, in theory, pop in and do whatever he wants at a moment's notice. By the way, Shayna Baszler is coming up from NXT to the main roster after Evolution. That is a given. That is my prediction. Same thing could be said for the Velveteen Dream after his match with Tommaso Ciampa at TakeOver War Games. After Ciampa retains the championship, which to me is inevitable. You're not going to take the title. Ciampa is the best thing in NXT. And if you are the best thing in NXT, you are not going to take the title off the best person right now for the job, no matter how great Velveteen Dream is. This is my prediction, and a prediction I wish would not come true. Shayna, they want her on the main roster for Ronda. And everybody else in the Four Horsewomen, Jessamine Duke, Marina Shafir, they're going to be fast-tracked to the main roster regardless. That's inevitable. Shayna is going to be on the main roster. Whether it's on Raw or SmackDown, I don't know. They'll probably put her on Raw, because that's where Ronda is. But for everybody else, there is reports right now that WWE is going to be calling up people from NXT to the main roster after Survivor Series. Velveteen Dream will be on the main roster following Survivor Series. Whether it happens the Tuesday after Survivor Series or the Monday after Survivor Series, he will be there, and I guarantee you heads will roll. Heads will roll. And I pray to God that this doesn't happen, because he's only 22 years old, and he still has a lot more going for him if he stays down in NXT. If you put him on the main roster, he will be subjected to dead crowds that don't get the gimmick, Vince McMahon, who will listen to the fucking dead audience and deem this guy a fucking failure, when we all know that this guy has the potential to be the biggest breakout star that they fucking have down there. I don't want it to happen yet. You got a couple more years of grooming and then get the call up. So Velveteen Dream, I am sure, after his loss to Ciampa, there's nothing else for him to do. Nothing. Unless they put him in the North American Championship picture, which would be fine. I don't think WWE is going to do that. They may deem him ready for the main roster, and that's not something that I could fully grasp right now. And I may just I just may put bad karma in the air. I'm not sure. But Velveteen Dream and Shayna Baszler is my predictions to be called up from NXT after the Survivor Series. That is all I got for you guys today. Speaking of the Survivor Series, the big story for the remainder of the weekend, man. There is leaked WWE documents that reveal several Survivor Series matches. And let me give you one hint. It ain't good. It ain't good whatsoever. We'll talk about that on part 3 to round out the weekend. Thank you guys so very much for everything. Follow me on Twitter at JD from NY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. And I will see you all on part 3 for Off the Script, man. Thank you guys so very much. Hit that thumbs up. Let's try for 2,000 thumbs up on today's podcast. And I'll see you guys on part 3 right here on Off the Script. I'll talk to you later.